Hello and welcome to the Astrology and Spirituality show for Monday the 30th of November, which is a particularly significant event. Today we have the Lunar Eclipse in Gemini, but this reinvigorates a Saros series which first came about on the 30th of May 1984. And interestingly, that eclipse series also coincided with Jupiter being in the sign of Capricorn. So the stock market was actually down that year as well due to the more contracting energies of Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn. But I think what this eclipse series does is it takes us past the wounding battle that's been going on between the cardinal giants of Cancer and Capricorn over the last 2.5-3 years. Now we're going to have an amazing solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius on the 14th of December. Now obviously lunar eclipses and lunations, full moon lunations, can bring into the open issues that may be more challenging. So I think this is going to see us all thinking a lot more about the whole concept of truth, facts. Obviously, there's been a whole welter of a battle for information over the last few years, particularly through social media. It's affected the Brexit election. It's affected the United States election of 2016. And some would argue it's affected this one as well. So there's been a massive sort of battle going on of ideas, and I think this lunation really brings that into focus. We need to think all about our ideas, but let's think about Gemini energy. It's mercurial, it's ruled by Mercury, so it's quick-witted, it's fast, but it's not always very connected to emotion. So I think the moon here is saying, look, let's try to join up how we think and speak and communicate with how we really feel, which can be a bit of a challenge with Gemini because it is about being an air sign. It's about being very quick-witted, sometimes very amusing, and sometimes very flexible with the reality. And of course, we've had a lot of leadership people around the world who are Geminis. So this is an interesting concept for this particular eclipse of what the shakedown is going to be over the next 6 months for those people, or for one or two leading players in particular. Elisa, what cards have you chosen today?
Well, today we are using the angel therapy. We may feel like we need some angelic therapy for this powerful lunar eclipse. And if you would like to check out Patrick's deep dive video, you can find that in the description box. So the card that comes up for today is Cut Your Cords. Archangel Michael makes an appearance again. It says, Archangel Michael asks you to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from your past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. Wow, this is really powerful. This is saying to us, if we keep going back into those bad habits, which, I know can be so difficult because habits can become part of our reality, and it can be so hard to completely change perhaps something that we see as an extension of ourselves, as our personality. But if it is destructive and it is having a negative influence on our lives, then this is a good time to try and pull away from that. There is an exercise, a spiritual exercise we can do where, you could just lie or sit in a comfortable position. And I like to think of, imagine every person we meet in our lives, whether we hold the door open for them or they serve us in a shop. Everyone we meet, we form a connection with.
Oh, that's lovely.
And some of those can be lovely connections, and some of it can be a little bit draining. If we imagine we have these invisible cords coming off us, well, we can just take our hand and use it as sort of a slicer to just slice through those cords. And just visualize cutting them. It will never cut away the love connection. But it can help us get rid of some of that negative, draining energy that can come from it.
Oh, that's a brilliant observation. And also, Elisa's full moon meditation video is absolutely brilliant. Please see that beneath this video too.
Thank you.
So that would be a good one for you to take in. And if you want your free daily horoscope, as usual, below in the description box. But wishing you a marvellous lunation And I really do feel this is a kind of pivot point for how things have been for quite some time. We're moving into a new reality, which is going to be very exciting. But it's all about information, but we need to get purer, more factual information, because that is going to create a greater sense of security for us all, because there's so many competing ideas. I do feel it's quite dislocating for our sense of well-being and our sense of security. But for now, from the A-team, it is
Goodbye from him.
and it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.